This is a training video for Danville on mobile CityWorks with Freelance, and we're going to show how to use a work order. And as always, Freelance Mobile is a native application that you get on the App Store. You have to download it. Once you do, you have an icon here. We'll click it on and bring it up. The first time I go into this, I'm going to have an options page, and you need to get your server address from your system admin, Patty. Type it in, hit load config, and you'll get a little loading bar here, and when it's done you'll have 3 options or more. The important thing here is you want to click on the group you're working with. Water, gas, light, power, public works. I'm going to pick public works. Now this screen is a one-time only. Once I hit save, I don't need to go back into it, and when I do go into CityWorks, I'll come up with just this login page, and this is my standard CityWorks login. This is my same username and password that I use for CityWorks on the web and desktop. See if I type everything in correctly. Should enter the application. Will go live to the server. So here's work orders, inspection, service requests, and a map on the top right. We're going to go into work orders, and we're going to go into open and submit it to me. Once again, I'll show you that. We always go back to go back. Work orders, open, and submit it to me. Let's go ahead and grab this second one here. There's the work order. If I click the wrong one, just go back. Up on top left is the back for the iOS. Anywhere I am, I can hit back, go back. Go back. Okay, but once again, we want to go to the open and submit me. I'm going to go to this second work order. It's a pipe. Okay, it's open. Let's look at it. Let's review it. We've got some instructions here. We got some comments, details. We got costs. We've got our task. A lot to do. Big work order. Assets, it's connected to a pipe, and let's zoom to this. So how do I get to this on the map? Well, I hit the zoom to XY. That is zoom to the location. That's going to bring up the map. This is a live GIS map. You see I had a loading bar up there. Depending on where I'm located, my cell connect, my data speed is how quick that happens. Just wait till the loading bar is done. Now the first thing I'm probably going to want to do is, and this is a one-time task, is turn my layers on. You know, I don't see my sanitary data, so let's go click the stack of papers and bring up the layers and go to the sanitary and click that on. Not the storm, but the sanitary. Okay? Go ahead and hit save. And my sanitary data is going to come up. I've got the loading. Let's zoom in a couple times with the plus. It's going to come right into the pipe where that is. There it is. Okay. So let's go back to the work order. I'll just hit cancel up here, and it's going to go back into the work order. If I ever want to go to the map again, just hit the zoom. Okay, so that's how we get to the location. Let's go ahead and update some tasks. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to start working on this thing. So let's come in here and say, well, let's do the work. Let's open it up. I clicked right on it. I can click on a task. I'll click on do the work. I'm going to click on it. Oop, let me hit the back. Do the work. Let's click on it. Okay, let's update it. I'm going to bottom right here. Update. This is just like desktop. Who's it assigned to? What's the status? Okay, so we're just filling out this task. If we want to complete this task, we got to make sure we put an actual finish date on it. Just select it. Let's come over here and Let's show that again. I'm just going to click the blank screen. It's the current time. I can move it if I want to. And click over here and it'll collect it. So let's look at that. Start time was actually yesterday. Come over and click off that and it'll select it. Click over here, it'll select it. Okay? Let's go ahead and save that. Alright, let's go back. So we've got a current. We're doing that work and it's completed. So we've modified that. So we go into these different tasks and we just hit the update on the bottom right. Now maybe there's a task in here that didn't pertain to this. It came in, but we're not going to do it. This locate the GPS, we could always come in here and even delete that. Okay, sure you want to delete that? Hit OK, yeah. Alright. So we go through our task, and we're not going to be able to close this work order till we complete all our tasks. Let's come in and look at labor next. So here's our equipment, labor, and materials. Let's hit labor. We'll hit the detail button. And there's already some labors added to this. Let's add some more. We hit the add on the top right. We say this is an employee. And the employee is going to be, boy, that's a big list. Huge list. Let's whittle this down. Okay, I know it's going to be Dave. We'll start to type in some of his name, first or last. And now there's Davis and Davis. I can select 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Just select off the button to get rid of that. You saw I came in here and just click off over here. Task, we're going to assign this labor to the task of doing the work, or we could assign it to an asset, the pipe. How many hours? We're going to put in 2, and it's going to assign it to both Davises. We're going to have 4 hours, 2 to each one. And it is going to be regular. Okay, we'll go ahead and hit save. And there's our work for Alan and Brenda. You know, the 2 that came in here, Bobby and Bobby, let's delete those. Those were not correct. Okay, so that's how I do labor. I do the same with materials. Same as in desktop. We'll hit details. Let me go back and hit details next to materials. There's no materials here, but let's add some. It's a storeroom. What storeroom? What item? No materials here. I have no storerooms for this user. Contractor. We can always grab a contractor. But this is the same as desktop. We're grabbing our storehouse or contractor. The cost, the items is going to be doing the work. We're assigning it to the task. How many units? We're going to do 2. The keyboard goes up and down with this button right here. See the bottom right? I got that keyboard. I get rid of it at the bottom right. Alright? So there we go. We've added some material. Let's hit save. Alright? We'll go back. And the last one we want to do here is equipment. Let's come in and add some equipment. Once again, I've got a lot of equipment. I've got a ton of equipment. But I know it's a backhoe. So let's start typing in back and see if that whittles it down. There we go, John Deere backhoe. That's what I wanted. Click off that. It's going to be assigned to doing the work. task. It's going to be 3 hours. Alright, let's remove the keyboard down the bottom right and hit save. So there we go. We added some work equipment to that. Alright. One of the things we want to do is, you notice we've got a picture here. Let's add more pictures to this. So we're going to do that in the update. A lot of this stuff can be updated up here. Details is in the update command. So let's hit update bottom right, right there where my finger is. And now we've got a lot of fields we can update. Stage. So I'm just selecting. We can always go back in and change this. Even if I hit save, I can still go back in and hit update and go back in and change it. Alright? So we'll come in here, and here's that photo field. I want to get rid of this photo. I'm going to delete that photo. And I'm going to bring up the camera, and I'm going to select another photo. Here we go. Looking outside. Not a great photo, but we're going to use it anyway. Alright, so there's my photo. See if I can pan out just a little here and get this full thing here. Here we go. Alright. Assets. So we've updated it to where we want it. Status, open. Let's go ahead and hit save. We can always add comments if we'd like. And let's hit save under comments. That's a different place for the save. It's right under comments. Do we have any custom fields on this other than the photos? We don't. Just that one. You might have custom fields here. They'll just be stuff to type in or select. Another thing we might need to do here is there's more work to do on this work order. So we might have to come in and create a child work order. Just hit create, and we're into creating a new child work order. It's the same way you create work orders once again on the web. I mean, entity type, it's not Parks and Rec, it's Public Works for the entity group. Entity type is going to be sanitary line, and it's going to be let's say routine repair. Status is open, supervisor. So I'm just going down and creating this work order just like I would on any other on the web or the desktop. Let's hit save, and I've created a new work order. Still attached to that same asset, and all the tasks came in with a template, and I've got a new work order to complete. Okay, if I want to get back to my other work order, just hit the back key, and I'm back to my original work order. So if we've got all our tasks complete, and I want to put everything in here, maybe update and say this is finish date is in here, stage, actual, we can go ahead and save this and close this. If I have permissions and all my tasks are complete, I can close this. Now, I don't have permissions, so it won't close on me. But if you have permissions and everything's set up, it will close. This application will not let you override the CityWork rules. If you're not doing something correct, it'll come up and tell you. right there. So that's how we handle work orders in the iPad with Freon's Mobile for CityWorks. I got another thing here. I've got this history. I can go back and look at work orders that I was just in. And if I just want to create a work order, I'm outside, I see something needs repair, hit create up here. And once again, you can create a work order just like we did with that child work order. One thing I'll show you here is how to attach it to an asset. So let's hit under assets. I created this new work order. I see a fire hydrant that's broken, leaking. So let's go ahead and hit add because I want to attach it to that hydrant. So I'm just going to zoom in. I'm going to pretend I have a hydrant here. Let me see if I got a layer for hydrants. I don't because I'm not in the water one. Well, let's just pretend I had water here. Let's hit the back button. And let's pretend that this right here is a hydrant. Well, we don't have to pretend it's a hydrant. We'll just select this manhole here and attach our work order to this manhole because it needs repaired. So I clicked on it once and I'm going to wait because a balloon's going to come up and there's my manhole. Click on it and attach that work order. And just like that, I attach that sanitary manhole to this new work order that I created. And I can keep adding assets. I can come in and say, well, I also want to attach this Chestnut Place sanitary line. I'm going to click on that. And that's going to bring up that sanitary line. And I'm going to select it. And it will also attach it to that work order. So we'll wait for the bubble to come up. We'll identify that sanitary line. I'll select it and it'll attach it to that work order. Lots of streets showing. Why isn't it grabbing that sanitary line there? Always wait. If it doesn't show up, it'll eventually get there, and there it is, sanitary line. Okay, let's go ahead and grab it. And bottom right, attach it to a work order. And now I've got two features attached to this new work order. Let's hit save. Oh, cannot complete a work order without a template. Remember I said we can't bug the system? We can't bug the system. Okay, let me see. Feature is going to be sanitary line, and it's going to be repair. There we go. Now let's hit save. Okay, so we have to follow the rules. Alright, that's how we do work orders with Freon's Mobile for CityWorks on the iPad.